Right, lesson 9. We're moving on to part 4 of our designing an app project. So, just a warm up, think of some times when you've received helpful feedback on schoolwork, a hobby, or a sport. What makes good feedback? What makes bad feedback? So good feedback typically gives you a lot more information. It's not just saying, hey, it's great, but it's giving you some specific reasons why it's great or reasons why it might need some work. And bad feedback is usually either really negative without any actual help, or it just doesn't go into enough detail, like the it's great method. So today we're going to keep working on our apps, but we're also going to be getting feedback from our classmates. Make sure that you have your app development planning guide again. And for the next however long you need, but probably around 25 minutes in actuality, you should work with your partner and use a version of pair programming to continue working on your app. And after that's done, you'll get feedback from another group. Remember that with the pair programming, both of you are getting experience coding different parts of the app. Both of you are maybe looking at each other's code and seeing if there's anything that you notice that could be improved. So at this point, go ahead and go to Bubble 2, I believe it is, on Code Studio, and continue working on your apps. Finish up any code that you need to work on to make it completely done. Once you're done with your code and your whole app, from this screen on code.org, you can click on this share button up at the top and notice that there's a link where that other people can now take to get to your app and actually run it and work through your app and test it out and give you some feedback. So what I want you to do, I want you to copy this link. I want you to email it to me and then I will kind of send those out to other people so that you can get access to someone else's app and give them feedback, and someone else can get access to your app and give you feedback. So let's look at the app development planning guide and see exactly what kind of feedback we're trying to give and get at this step. So the first thing that you're going to do whenever you have access to someone else's app is you're going to run it. You're going to see what it does, click on all the buttons, see what it's supposed to do, read any information that they might have written on there about program specification requirements. Just keep in mind anything at all that you find confusing, broken, um, recommended for improvement, anything at all that you have. Now, if you just don't like something or you don't like the concept of their app, I mean, if that's the only thing that you can think of that you would change, then maybe it could be some feedback. But you need to give them a point of suggestion for improvement, not just say, I don't like your app, but tell them exactly what could be done to improve the app to make you like it. And at this point, you just need to email that person directly and give them the information that's on this chart. Your name, things that can be improved based on watching or using the app, and what improvements you might actually specifically recommend to make those things work better. Now, you need two, so make sure that if you don't get two from different people in the class, that you let me know, and I'll make sure that that happens. And then, so the wrap up for today's lesson is for you to take into consideration the improvements that were suggested for your particular app, talk it over with your partner and see what you might want to plan to actually improve. And you're going to move on to step 7 of the app development planning guide, where you pick improvements. So go ahead and write down on that section at least one improvement that you plan to make to your app based on the feedback collected from your classmates. And you can choose more than one if you find that maybe you agree that there are some things that need to be changed. So why is it important to get feedback from others while building your app? What's the value of getting this feedback even if you're not finished with your app? Obviously, you need some good feedback from the people who are going to be using your app so that you make sure that you are putting out some good software. Another person might find a bug that you overlooked, something that seems obvious to you is not obvious to the user. And even if the app isn't finished, feedback can help you guide the next steps. Maybe make sure that you don't go to too much trouble in the wrong direction before having to change something.